everyone knows that you really don't make pictures by yourself, and I accept this tonight on behalf of my friends, people that...
I've auditioned for a lot and haven't got a lot. And then Gran Torino came around where he was talking to me. It was just like this little role.
It influenced my life, influenced this movie.
My life is, volleyball, driving up and down when I'm home.
Imagine a Hollywood legend, a man who starred in some of the biggest movies ever, standing alone after years of heartbreak, rumors, and messy love stories. Kevin Costner, the guy who brought us Dances with Wolves and The Bodyguard, has lived a life full of drama both on and off the screen. His love life. It's been a roller coaster of secrets, scandals, and surprises. From hidden affairs to million-dollar divorces, his journey has been anything but boring. But now, at 70 years old, Kevin Costner says he's finally found love again, and the woman he's chosen is someone nobody saw coming. Let's dive into this incredible story of love, loss, and starting over, because Kevin's life is like a movie all its own. Kevin Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California. He grew up in a regular family, far from the glitz of Hollywood. His mom, Sharon, worked for the welfare department, and his dad, William, was an electrician who later got a bigger job at a utility company. Kevin was the youngest of 3 boys, but one of his brothers passed away before he was born. His family moved a lot because of his dad's job, so Kevin was always the new kid at school. He went to more than a dozen schools in places like Garden Grove and Ventura. It wasn't easy. He felt like he never quite fit in, always trying to make new friends. That constant moving shaped him. It made him tough, but it also made him dream of a place to call home, a theme you can see in his movies years later. In high school, Kevin threw himself into sports. He loved baseball, basketball, and football. He even played alongside a guy who later became a pro baseball player. But Kevin was only 5 feet 2 inches when he graduated, and a shoulder injury ended his dreams of going pro. That hurt, but it taught him discipline, something he'd carry into his acting career. After high school, he went to Cal State Fullerton to study business. He joined a fraternity, played some football, and met a girl named Cindy Silva. She became his college sweetheart, and they got married in 1978. Back then, nobody thought Kevin would be an actor. He was just a regular guy. But secretly, he was taking acting classes at night, not even telling Cindy at first. He'd sneak off 5 nights a week, chasing a dream he barely admitted to himself. Right after their wedding, something wild happened. On their honeymoon flight back from Mexico, Kevin and Cindy ended up sitting near Richard Burton, a huge movie star. Kevin was nervous but worked up the courage to ask for advice. Burton looked at him and said, "You have green eyes. I have green eyes. I think you'll be fine." Later, as they waited for a bus, Burton's limo pulled up, and he just said, "Good luck." That moment lit a fire in Kevin. He quit his marketing job after just 30 days and decided to go all in on acting. It wasn't easy. He worked odd jobs like construction, driving trucks, and even giving tours of movie stars' homes. He went to audition after audition, getting rejected over and over. Cindy believed in him, even when they barely had any money. Those tough years built a strength in Kevin that would carry him far. His first movie role was in a low-budget film called Sizzle Beach, USA. He made just $1,800, and the movie was so embarrassing that years later, when he was famous, he tried to buy the rights to hide it. That didn't work, and the film became a reminder of his humble start. Things got worse before they got better. In 1983, he got a role in The Big Chill, thinking it would be his big break. He played a character named Alex, but when the movie came out, all his scenes were cut. The only thing left was a shot of his hands in a coffin. It broke his heart. He thought about quitting acting and going back to a regular job. But Cindy told him to give it 1 more year. That advice changed everything. In 1987, Kevin got his big break. He auditioned for The Untouchables against 200 other actors, including some big names. The director didn't want him at first, but Kevin's screen test was the best. The movie was a hit, making $106 million worldwide. Kevin earned $1 million, a huge deal for someone still new to the game. He worked with legends like Robert De Niro and Sean Connery, who became a mentor. That role put Kevin on the map. Just 3 years later, he took a massive risk. At 35, He decided to direct, produce, and star in Dances with Wolves. Everyone thought it would flop. They called it Kevin's Gate, joking it would be a disaster like another famous failed movie. The film was tough to make, shot in remote places with wild animals and scenes in another language. But Kevin proved them wrong. Dances with Wolves won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. At 35, Kevin had done what most people only dream of. The hits kept coming. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves made $390 million, even if critics didn't love his accent. Then came The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. It made $410 million, and the soundtrack with Whitney's I Will Always Love You became the biggest album of the decade, selling over 45 million copies. Kevin was on top of the world. He was earning $50 million for movies like Waterworld, a number nobody had heard of back then. But Waterworld was a nightmare to make. The budget ballooned to $175 million, the set sank, and the director quit. Kevin had to finish it himself. The press called it a flop, even though it eventually made money. That was the start of a rough patch. In the mid-90s, Kevin's career took a hit. Waterworld, Tin Cup, and The Postman all struggled. The Postman was the worst. It cost $80 million but only made $27 million. People mocked it, and it won awards for being awful. Hollywood turned on Kevin fast. His agency dropped him, and studios stopped taking his calls. By the early 2000s, some of his movies were going straight to video. Dragonfly lost money, and his name was tied to failure. He went from Oscar winner to someone studios didn't trust. But Kevin didn't give up. He kept believing in his big Western dreams, even when nobody else did. Years later, he put $38 million of his own money into a new project called Horizon, an American saga. He even mortgaged his house to make it happen. That's how much he believed in himself. While his career was falling apart, his personal life was a mess too. In 2004, his divorce from Cindy cost him $80 million. They had 3 kids together, and the split was one of the biggest in Hollywood history. It came at a time when he was already losing money on films. Then there was a secret affair with Bridget Rooney, from the family that owns the Pittsburgh Steelers. She got pregnant, but Kevin didn't admit the child was his for 6 years. It took a paternity test to prove it. Their son, Liam, was raised by Bridget and her billionaire husband, not Kevin. The scandal hurt his clean-cut image. Rumors swirled about other women, too, co-stars, a hula dancer, even married women. Kevin denied them all, but the gossip stuck. Things got worse on movie sets. During Waterworld, Kevin fought with the director, his old friend Kevin Reynolds. He rewrote scripts and took over editing, pushing Reynolds out. They never worked together again. Stories like that made people think Kevin was hard to work with. He started his own company, TIG Productions, to have more control. He made some hits through it, but also some flops. By the early 2000s, Kevin was at his lowest point. He'd gone from Hollywood's golden boy to someone fighting to stay relevant. But Kevin Costner doesn't quit. In 2012, he made a surprising move to TV. He starred in a miniseries called Hatfields and McCoys, and it was a massive hit. Over 13 million people watched the first night, and Kevin won an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and more. It was a comeback nobody expected. 2 years later, he did Draft Day, a smaller sports movie that didn't make much money but won fans over time. Then in 2016, he took a supporting role in Hidden Figures, a film about 3 African-American women at NASA. It made $236 million and got Oscar nominations. Kevin didn't need to be the star anymore. He was proving he could be a team player. That same year, he joined Hell or High Water, a modern Western that got 4 Oscar nominations. Critics loved it, and Kevin showed he could still shine without being the lead. But his biggest move came in 2018 with Yellowstone. He played John Dutton, the tough head of a ranching family. The show became a phenomenon, with millions of viewers and spin-offs galore. Kevin earned up to $1.3 million per episode, more than any other TV actor. He also had creative control, which caused fights with the show's creator, Taylor Sheridan. They argued over the story and schedule, and by 2023, Kevin was done. Court papers from his divorce showed he was no longer under contract. He'd walked away from the biggest show on TV to focus on Horizon. His second divorce was just as messy as the first. In 2023, Christine Baumgartner, his wife of 18 years, filed for divorce. They had 3 kids and a $145 million property at stake. Their prenup said Christine had to move out within 30 days, but she didn't. The court made her leave. She asked for $248,000 a month in child support, saying it matched Kevin's income. He offered less, and after a big fight, the court settled on $63,209 a month. The divorce was finalized in September 2023, but it was a public mess, with headlines about money and power. Then came the rumors about Kevin's love life. In late 2023, he was spotted with singer Jewel at a charity event. Photos sparked talk of a romance, but both said they were just friends. Kevin's own kids asked him about it. The media wouldn't let it go. Then in 2024, a picture of Kevin with Jennifer Lopez at a restaurant turned into more gossip, even though it wasn't a date. Every woman he was seen with became a story. He started joking about it in interviews, saying people were obsessed with his love life. It was hard for him to just live normally with cameras following his every move. After all the drama, Kevin says he's done with Hollywood's dating game. He told friends he wants something simple, with someone outside the spotlight. He spends most of his time with his 7 kids now. He's been linked to big names like Sandra Bullock, but he ignores the rumors. If he falls in love again, he says it'll be on his terms, with a prenup and privacy. At 70, Kevin Costner has seen it all: fame, failure, love, and loss. He's still chasing his dreams, like with Horizon, and he's still hoping for a love that feels real. His story isn't over, and the woman he's chosen has everyone talking. It's not the Hollywood ending you'd expect, but it's Kevin's, and that's what makes it so special. So, what do you think of Kevin Costner's wild journey? Hit that like button if you were surprised by his story, share this video with a friend who loves Hollywood drama, and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite stars' lives. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What's your favorite Kevin Costner movie?